Hey, we're back with another video. It's 10:41. I got home maybe about half an hour ago. I had a snack and pretty soon it'll be lunchtime, but I'm gonna wait a little bit. I'm not really hungry right now. So I got home and my car's still at the shop. And the lady, the receptionist at the auto place, she was saying that she was willing to take me to my bank, while I waited for my car. And I said, I just decided to take the bus home. Mainly because I really didn't want to be in a car with somebody, but I asked her first, but I'm glad that that I decided not to, because I just don't like being around people lately. It's just mainly because I'm angry about this whole issue, and I just don't really feel like talking to people. Like when you first meet somebody, you're in a car and you're talking. I don't want to engage in any small talk right now. I'm just really not in the mood to talk to anyone. I'm very upset right now. And then the fact that my car is experiencing problems, it's just one financial setback after another. And I really shouldn't be in this situation, and of course I'm angry about it. So I was thinking about all these people who, involve themselves unnecessarily. First of all, I'd like to say that I resent their intrusion for several reasons. Because, the people that I used to work with, let's go back to, I'm going to go back a little bit, back to when I was working over at Karen Johnson's place. I absolutely hated the environment there. I hated it so bad. Every day was in a misery, okay? And I think they felt as though, Maria doesn't like having fun. I don't like being harassed, okay? If I tell you one thing, like for example, they ask about my hair, then I give you the answer and let it go. It's none of your business. You don't need to sit here and pry. You don't need to walk around my desk. You don't need to look and see what I'm eating in the morning. You don't need to do this, and I didn't feel like I was close enough to these people for them to intrude on my personal life. So every day it was some bullshit going on, especially with this accounts receivable clerk. Every day. And it just got to the point where the mobbing was making me ill. So I decided to pick up and leave. And so this Karen Johnson lady decides to follow me, which was illegal already. And then, this big blow up over at the farmer's place happened. And then, and I am not responsible for this, okay? There are a lot of women who wear hair extensions all the time. I see white women wearing them all the time. As a matter of fact, I remember this lady, she was brushing her hair and one of her extension clips came out. I didn't trip on it. I just figured, whatever. Some people have hair issues. I'm an African American, and, there's issues. If you wear your hair in a natural state, they got problems with it. I personally don't like my hair in the natural state. The curls are too kinky and it makes me look very like a boy, okay? So therefore, I was always raised, when I was younger, I would go to the beauty shop and it would be, we'd wash it and then they'd press it, meaning that they would straighten it, okay? And then of course, throughout the years, I would just go ahead and get a regular relaxer instead of trying to straighten it in its natural state. If people don't understand black hair, you don't need to understand black hair. That's not it. Just accept the fact that my hair is different, and in order for me to look presentable, that's just something that I do. That should be enough of an answer. To continue on with it is nothing more than harassment. It's none of your business, period. And so some people might think, well, you don't enjoy having fun. No, I don't. I'm not interested in being the butt of somebody's joke, or somebody, insinuating that I'm wearing a wig to work because I'm trying to attract male attention. I'm not interested in that. Just because somebody, dresses nice or whatever. Now, I explained before, there's a difference between dressing provocatively and somebody who's dressing professional. Where I work now, I'm usually by myself, okay? But I prefer to wear, some of the nice dressier shirts to work. That's just how I am. I prefer that. I don't like wearing t-shirts to work. Sometimes I'll wear a tank top because it's going to get hot in there. It's going to get really hot in the next few months or so. It's going to get very, very hot in that office. But, I prefer to wear, and I prefer working in offices where I'm somewhat dressing professional. That means the slacks and all that. That's what I've always enjoyed doing. I prefer having a certain dress for work, okay? Now, I do wear jeans. Like today I wore jeans, but I didn't get to work on time. I didn't get to work at all, period, okay? But I had a decent top on and my jeans or whatever. And I don't, it's just, it's a constant harassment issue that to me has been blown up for longer than it really should have been. And, and like I said, the issue with African American hair, I remember wearing my hair natural one time. And then I remember somebody saying, oh, you should go home and comb your hair. Okay, asshole, right? So then, I did wear braids one time. I got braids. Well, actually, I wore braids a few times. And then there were people who actually thought I was making a political statement. Like, man, you're wearing braids? That's something that, certain black people wear. Like, I guess they, And I thought the braids looked great and they were easy for me. I could go swimming. I could do whatever I wanted. Then that was an issue. I'm making a political statement. I had no idea I was making a political statement. I just knew that I could wash my hair and I could go, and it was easy for me that way. But that was a political statement. So then I decided, okay, you know what? How I started wearing the wigs is, I remember I did deal with some hair loss back in 2006. And so I started wearing the wigs, big hair loss, okay? And so I started wearing the wigs, and I did change them quite frequently. I mean, because I really didn't like the way that they looked. Some of them were just too long. The hair, the hair texture didn't really match mine, whatever. I didn't like them, okay? So I would switch them a lot, like, okay, I can't find the right one. So I finally found one that's, to me, looks as close to my regular hair, or not real my hair when it's straightened and somewhat processed a little bit. That blends in pretty well. So this is what I'm doing. And I don't appreciate the circus show. I don't like it. It's just like no one else gets this sort of treatment except for me. I resent it, and it's discrimination is basically what it is, okay? So black people have problems with their hair anyway. I do know that in the past, there were times where employers didn't like hiring people that wore braids. That was a big issue. And I remember when I started working at my first accounting job was back in 1997, and this black lady who introduced me to the company, she said, you could wear braids if you want to here, because it was like a government type job. You could wear braids here if you want to. See, I wasn't wearing braids at that time, and I thought, well, I didn't interest me at that time. I always thought braids looked really pretty. Some of the ones, the really thin ones, which are the ones that I ended up trying, but I wasn't interested at that time. But she said, here, and I got to work, and there was plenty of black women who wore braids. Some didn't. Some wore their hair like, the regular wash and press, or straighten, or whatever, relaxed hair, or whatever. There was just a bunch of all kinds of people who wore their hair in different ways, okay, when I encountered black people. So, and there's some employers, they don't, like braids. They just don't. And then a lot of people, I would never rock an afro. I only people who look good in afros to me are, and I'm talking very tall women and very skinny women. I'm not talking curvy women. I'm talking about bone thin. To me, that looks so cool, and I think it looks great on them, but it doesn't look good on me at all. As a matter of fact, I look like a guy with my hair that way. So I would prefer not doing that. And a lot of people find that as a political take that as a political statement too. They're like, well, it's a very difficult issue when you're an African American person. So, either way, you're going to deal with problems. So I'm just trying to find a style. I tried to find a style for many years. I struggled to find a style that was presentable for work. And this right here is the most presentable one that I have, okay? And so I do wear hats, when I'm walking around town, or I'm going shopping or whatever. I don't like wearing wigs outside, other than work, okay? Obviously, because I don't feel like it's really me. It's just something that I have to do to be groomed. And so making a big issue of it, or putting something in place where you can't hire her until, because she needs to change her hair first, that's against the law, okay? It's against the law. It's discrimination. There's a lot of women I knew at least 4 women that I used to work with, okay, that wore hair extensions, okay? And I knew some people who got boob jobs. And of course, some people get acrylic nails and they'll swear up and down that it's not the same. To me, it's all the same, okay? It's all the same. Well, to me, a boob job is a little bit different because that's like, they're actually cutting into you, and that's an actual surgical procedure. But still, and I'm not doing this because, do I think it makes me look better? Well, it probably does make me look better as opposed to my regular choppy hair that sticks up on and stands up on end. But I'm not doing it to be a glamorous queen or anything like that. My clothes at work are very professional. Like I said, I wear slacks. Sometimes I used to wear dresses. I don't really wear dresses where I am right now. But most of my clothes are just slacks, shoes, and a nice dressed up top, or, it's a fairly nice looking top. I'm presentable. And, for people to make an issue of it, to me, it's either racism or you're making an issue of it. And to me, that's relating to sexual harassment. And it probably is. It is sexual harassment. And it's offensive. And it really needs to stop. I just recently cut my hair. I had two little pigtails, which I had featured in one of my videos. And my hair, it's like, if it gets any longer than, I would say, the collarbone, I don't really see any point in having my hair any longer than that, because it doesn't lay flat. It doesn't. I can straighten the hell out of it, and then the minute I bend my head, it's like sticking straight out. It's crazy. So I just cut the pigtails off. I'm like, I don't want to deal with this anymore. I don't. I'm just sick of it. So if the pigtails, which they will grow back eventually, I'm just going to continue cutting it until whatever. I don't feel as though I need to be bothered with it. It's just easier for me. Everybody has their way of managing how they style and deal with their hair, and that's how I choose to do mine. You know what I mean? And I find it very intrusive and offensive that people would even, want to throw their 2 cents worth in, okay? But anyway, I want to talk about some of the people that I used to work with. Now, this lady, Lisa, at Organized Sports, she was a total bitch, okay? And, she wanted to constantly tell me what to do, how to do it. And first of all, she was a subordinate, okay? So why she felt as though she needed to give me instructions, I don't know. Maybe my family put her up to it. First of all, my family is, once again, I mentioned how ignorant they are. You don't ever, if somebody's working a job, you don't sit here and have somebody watch what they're doing, because you're telling the employer, I don't think she's good for this job. You're sending a negative message, okay? It creates nothing but problems. And you certainly don't have a subordinate who's supposed to be reporting to you, monitor you, okay? Because it automatically puts you in a position where they're not going to respect you. They do not have any respect for what you have to say, and it's going to throw the whole social order off, okay? And so it's not going to work. You're asking for trouble, okay? Anybody with half a fucking brain should know this, okay? So anyway, this Lisa woman was an absolute nightmare, okay? And I just, every day, and then the people in customer service were getting to be intrusive and nosy, and I think it's because a part of it had to do with, they thought that I had something to do with Stephen Miles, okay? Because I'm talking about timelines here. Obviously I didn't, okay? But I remember, there was a bunch of times where I would get, in the morning, I would pack my snack, and then I would eat lunch. I'd pack a snack and lunch, okay? Because Maria eats a lot, okay? So I would be eating my snack, and then this girl from customer service would come over, and she's like, what are you eating? And I'm like, I don't, that's so, unless we're like friends or close or whatever, I don't expect people to sit here and hover over my desk. There was a guy named, I forgot his name, Freddie. He was another person who constantly irritated me and harassed me, constantly. Harassment. And I'm not, somebody who's touchy. I'm not somebody who can't take a joke. I'm one of the biggest joke crackers ever, okay? Now, you may not think my jokes are funny. I think they are hilarious. But I enjoy having a good time more than anybody, okay? I like laughing till I cry. I'm always throwing in humor. I inject humor in a lot of things, okay? And I'm not doing it to be, I just do it because it's fun. I like messing with people. I love having a good time. But I don't like people prying or insinuating certain things about me, okay? So if somebody asked me about my hair, which they have in the past, and I give them an answer, it doesn't go any further than that, and it should be shut down right then and there. Any further than that, then you're harassing me, period, and I don't appreciate it. So all these people got on my nerves, so I decided to get the hell out of organized sports and try to find something else. Okay, so I left. So Karen falls me and starts all this bullshit, her, my family, all these other people, and the big blow up over at Murray Family Farms. Now, everything was fine for a while over there at that job, okay? And then Joel and I decided to move back in together. And a little bit after that, I brought him to the Christmas party. And that's when bullshit started happening. Like, everything started getting really crazy. So maybe people thought that I was seeing the cute guy and I was married to Joel while I was all of this shit. I don't know, but these people make up shit and they cause nothing but problems. Okay, when I got together with Joel, I figured, well, we'll just get back together. Why not? You know, it was a decent arrangement, and you know, Joel and I got along as friends. Like when we were hanging out in the house or whatever. And I'm not saying that, you know, Joel, because Joel did some things I didn't appreciate. Okay, but I had no intentions of leaving him at that time. You know what I mean? Things started getting weird with my employment. I felt like his mom was having some sort of say or controlling my employment. Also, I started suspecting, and kind of in my mind, I realized that Joel and his mom had some sort of weird little intimate relationship thing going, which is weird to me. Okay, and first of all, I like to say that I don't even look at that as cheating on your spouse. To me, that is something so weird, I don't even know how to feel about it. It's so, like, if Joel was with another woman, like, then that would be, to me, that would be like, you're cheating on me or whatever. And that would be like wrong. It would be wrong, but it would be, you'd feel kind of like heartache a little bit more, and it would be that part. But when it's something that, like the incestuous thing, to me, it doesn't hurt my feelings. It's just something like, ooh, you're freaky to me. You're freaky, and I need to get away from you. That's pretty much how that is. I don't even know how to categorize that. Now, some people, I think maybe Bakersfield is very open to incest. And maybe they are. I don't know. Because obviously, if people were attacking me, they were attacking me because they were defending incest, okay? That's their choice. Also, the same thing relating to Stephen Lyles and all this other stuff. That's their choice. They believe in that sort of stuff. That's fine. I don't, okay? And I had no idea that any of that was going on until all of this sort of stuff started piling up on me. I think my senses and my eyes started becoming more open when, back in 2014, slowly but surely, things were just starting to become more revealing to me. And when I realized that Polly had something to do with my work, I decided to leave and wanted to start my life somewhere else. I figured if she had something to do with my work, then I need to start somewhere else. And maybe she wanted me to get out of her son's life, so maybe I would start my life somewhere else. So I moved back to the Antelope Valley. And then I started realizing that my sister had something to do with my work. And then I became afraid. So then I decided, okay, maybe Joel's mom didn't have anything to do with it. You know, and I did miss Joel. I did, okay? You know, there's times right now I start thinking about some of the things we used to laugh at. I think, man, I kind of miss those times that we spent together. But you know what? I know that he wasn't right for me. But still, I don't have any malice or hate towards Joel. I don't. So I decided to come back here. I had nowhere else to go. My sister was acting really weird. She started crying, pretending that she was crying on the phone. Like, everything's going to be okay, fine. We're going to figure out what's going on. She knew exactly what was going on. And I knew as she was playing this role that she was lying. And I became scared because you don't mess with people's employment, okay? And then try to make a joke out of it, okay? You don't do this sort of stuff. You throw people out, and you throw this issue out in the public, okay? And it can become a nightmare like it is right now, okay? So I knew my sister was lying to me, and I became scared, so I had nowhere else to go, so I came back here, okay? And then that's when I think I realized that Joel and his mom were like weird like that. And so I had nowhere else to go, so I had to put up with a bunch of shit for a long time. Tried to find a job, and I ended up working at this mobile home place or whatever. And then, what happened? there was a final straw. I think Joel did something that really pissed me off. And that was it. I was like, I'm done, okay? So I ended up moving out, you know, moving out on my own, and here I am, right here. And so I meant to talk about the people that I used to work with. This is what I really wanted to talk about. I just kind of got off the subject because there's so much to this issue that I don't understand. I do understand. I understand it's a harassment issue. I do understand that these people ruined my life. I do understand that these people had no right to ruin my life. I know that these people should be sued, and that I've been involved in something that, you know, is a cover-up. You know, because if you call a lawyer, because really Karen Johnson should be sued. Steve Murray should be sued. They should be sued. I shouldn't have to work another day in my life. I shouldn't. I shouldn't have to sit here and worry about what's going to happen to me when I'm 55 years old. I shouldn't have to sit here and be worried every day. And believe me, I worry every day. Okay? Going to a job that you're only working 5 hours a day, and then when you miss a day of work because something like your car goes out and you can't, you know, you're going to miss that day of work, and plus you got to sit here and pay the money that you did get from your paycheck to get the car repaired, and you're constantly being shortchanged. You're constantly, you know, doing things that you didn't ask to do, you don't want to do. You know, the morale is so low, it's not even funny. Like, you know, how would you like to do something that you don't like doing every single day? How would you like that? And not have a choice, you know? And then somebody trying to act like, well, then, you know, you need to decide about, do you really need that kind of work? How would you like somebody to decide what you need versus what you want? There are some people, like today, I was at the auto shop, and there was there was a beautiful Corvette. It was like this royal blue Corvette, 2-seater, I think it was. And it was a badass car. It was a beautiful car. Now, I'm not a car person, but I had to say, you know, that's a goddamn gorgeous car. And maybe it was his heart's desire to own a car like that. How would you like it if this was your heart's desire to have a car like that? And to have those kind of luxuries, although I have never dreamt of that kind of stuff because I knew I could never have those sort of things. Okay, I don't make that kind of money, and I know I'm not in a position to make that kind of money. Now, could I? Yeah, probably. Had I never been gang stalked, I probably could have. I've known people like myself who, in this situation, who've made a good living, you know. But I never saw myself with a lot of material things. I never have. But if you're the kind of person who does see yourself that way, okay, with a lot of material things, going to the finest department stores, if those are the things that make you happy and those are the things that you choose to do and surround yourself with, your pursuit of happiness that's what you want. You have every right to pursue your version of happiness. And you have somebody who sits there and says, well, you don't really need that. Who are you to tell another person what they need? Do they need a beautiful Corvette like that? Probably not. But is it something that they want to enjoy for their earthly life, their life right now here on Earth? Well, yeah, that's what they want. That's what they want. They have every right to pursue that. So when people try to put blocks or prevent you from living the life that you want to do or you want to live, that's wrong. And I don't even think that my ambitions were ever based on materialism. I just want to be able to have a decent job. I want to work full time. Look at the time. Look at all this time I have on my hands. Do you know there's sometimes I get on the bus with no real reason to get on the bus, just because I just need something to do. I never wanted that. I wanted to work till literally the day that I drop dead. That's what I want to do in my life. I don't want to sit here and have all this free time. And then maybe people thought that I was going to be with Stephen Lyles. I wouldn't want any man ever determining how many hours I'm going to work, where I'm going to work, what I'm going to do. No, that's one of the main reasons why I don't want to get married. I don't want to get married, okay? Now, I was willing to give Stephen Lyles a chance because I always thought he was a good-looking guy. I thought there was more to his personality than really there is, really. But I don't want people manipulating my employment. I would never ask for such a thing. And like I said, I left Joel because I thought his mom had something to do with my employment. And that to me is nothing more than abuse, okay? And I will leave, okay? My goal in life is to take care of Maria. And I'm not saying that I need to have a beautiful, shiny, brand new Corvette. I'm not saying that, okay? But I should be able to take care of my expenses, and when something happens, I shouldn't have to sit here and dig myself into a deeper hole. Okay? And really, I shouldn't have to explain that to anybody. For me to even have to explain that is a violation of my rights. It's nobody's goddamn business. So what Karen is nothing more than white supremacist. She thinks that she has the right to tell this African American what she needs to live, how I'm going to live, how I'm supposed to wear my hair. She has no right to do that at all. Okay? So then, I could go on and on about the people I work with, but I don't want to. What I really needed from the very get-go was just to leave this situation behind. That's what I wanted to do. Just wanted to leave the situation behind. I don't want to hear any more bullshit about people speculating who I'm going to be with. I'm not going to be with anybody, especially now after being gang stalked, okay? I don't have any trust for people. Just like the girl who was willing to take me, to the bank or whatever. And she's a very nice girl. As a matter of fact, everybody in that office was very nice, very accommodating to me, okay? They are very polite, okay? That's a very nice place to go to get your vehicle done, okay? These people are very nice and very kind, okay? Which is rare in this just shitty world, right? But I don't want to be around people that much anymore, okay? Because when you get gang stalked, you absolutely cannot stand people anymore. And it's not this girl, okay? She's very nice, but you no longer feel any sort of connection. There's no more. You just can't feel that anymore. Aside from that, I have my own personal beliefs on marriage, okay? And I don't need to go tell people how I feel about marriage. It's just, I don't want it. Not for me, okay? It's not for me. And some people might think, whoa, what about dating? I don't want to do anything. All I really want to do is live my life. That's it. All I really wanted was to be able to spend time with my son, okay, for the rest of the years that I have to be on this shitty earth. Maybe I wanted a few women friends to go and do things with, do arts and crafts with or whatever. The girl that, my friend right now, she lives in another country. That sucks, okay? And I really do feel a great connection to her. Unfortunately, she lives so far away, But that's the only things I really want. I don't care about romance and stuff like that, okay? Because I know that stuff is only temporary. Okay, and I can go into a long spiel about why I don't like the idea of marriage, why I don't want anything to do with it, why I only care about living a solitary life. That's how it is, okay? I want to live a solitary life. Okay, I'm not looking at other people and I'm not envious of what they have, their relationships. I don't give a fuck. Okay? All I care about is taking care of myself. Karen Johnson ruined my life. Period. Okay, and I'm quite upset about it. And I'm sick and tired of this woman intruding on my personal life, and I'm sick and tired of her imposing her bullshit. And I'm tired of people like Stephen Lyles' mom thinking that she has the right to attack me. Look, if you want to fuck your kid, you go right ahead, okay? You go right ahead, all right? Enjoy yourself, but leave me the hell out of it, okay? I don't want anything to do with that kind of weirdness. It's unfortunate because he really is a good-looking man. A beautiful looking man. Everyone in that family was just absolutely beautiful. But that shit's too weird for me. Okay, what I want in my life now is I just want, to enjoy the little time here on the earth that I have. That's it. Okay. I want to enjoy myself with doing my hobbies. I want to find a decent form of employment, one that I feel that I could really exercise my mind towards and enjoy those 8 hours of the day. And I want to come home and I want to, fiddle around and engage in my arts and crafts, listen to my music, make clothes, do whatever, and go to bed at night and feel like I had accomplished something for the day. And that's what I want to do in my life. That's all I want. But I'm not going to move on mentally from this until I get out of the situation I'm in. I'm tired of this repetitive shit that I didn't ask for. Yeah, I'm angry. I have every right to be angry. So anyway, I will follow up with another video and go into the freaks, the monsters, the assholes that I worked with in my last job. And it's therapeutic for me, really it is. And the reason why I'm doing it is because, I've been silent about this for so long that I'm just going to throw it out there. I'm going to name names and I don't give a fuck anymore because I'm tired of suffering for shit that I never did, okay? Now, where I'm working right now, I get along with the people. I'm okay with them. I just want to get the day over. I go to work. I do whatever I need to do, and then I get out, okay? So I don't have to deal with any overstimulation. Okay, I don't deal, if they're gossiping among themselves, then they can gossip among themselves. If, first of all, I would like to say though, if they're gossiping about who they think my boyfriend is, they're probably wrong, because I don't have a boyfriend. Okay, I have no interest in having a boyfriend. None. Okay, zero. Period. And that's not a lie, it's not an exaggeration. I was willing to give Stephen and Lyles a chance, because I kept thinking, well, you know, but then you understand that this is what's going on, this is what's going on, and it's like, heck no, it can't be overlooked. So good luck to Stephen Lyles. So anyway, I'm going to wrap up this video. And then I'm going to head out and try to keep myself as busy as I possibly can. I don't want to be at home. I don't want to be here. It's boring. And I really would like to do things to be outside. I think coming home at lunchtime every day is too much time in my hands, okay? And I shouldn't have to explain this. It's not Karen Johnson's business. It's not Stephen Lyles' mom's business. It's not my mother's business if I want to work full time. I don't want to work part time. I would never want to work part time, okay? I don't want to work part time. Okay? I know, it's too much time on my hands. I don't have enough activities in the day to keep me busy, you know? And yes, it does have something to do with money too, okay? But mainly, I like to stay busy. And it's hard because I really don't know if employers appreciate people who really care about their jobs. It seems like the more you fuck around, the more of a gossip you are, the more of a nosy person you are. If you do something like, you know, any sort of crime against humanity, somehow or another you end up going upward. You constantly get rewarded for your vile behavior. But if you are somebody who cares about your job, who shows up to work, and you do the best you can, and you take your job seriously, then somehow or another you get fucked over. I don't understand it. All I can do is say it's probably a part of this whole corrupt society that we live in, because that's the only thing I can think of. Anyway, wrapping up this video, I hope you all have a wonderful day. Bye-bye.